Hey, financial besties. Hey, financial besties. How you doing? How you been? Hey, y'all. Hey. How you doing? How you been? Y'all, the felon and his minions are still at it. The felon and his minions are still at it. Y'all, it's so much. It's so much going on in the US of A under this new administration. And let me tell you something. I refuse. I refuse to let a felon and his minions steal my joy, make me waver from my faith, and most definitely, they will not disrupt my peace. Hear me when I tell you. I'm going to say it one more time. And if you agree with me, put it in the comments. They will not steal my joy, make me waver from my faith, or disrupt my peace. Can we get an amen? Because, girl, they've been busy. They busy. But speaking of disrupting my peace, which they will not do. And by the way, any trolls come up in here this evening, y'all won't either. Y'all won't either. But what I do want to talk about today, you've seen the topic, the title that I put on the video. If you want to make sure that the felon and his minions do not disrupt your peace, Black women, and I'm speaking specifically to Black women. If you are not a Black woman, you're welcome to watch. If you disagree with what I say and you're not a Black woman, you are not welcome to comment because this is not about you. This is for my Black sisters and my Black sisters only. The next couple of videos, I will speak directly to Black women only. Sisters, you need a peace fund, especially now. Shout out to the financial bestie that coined the term peace fund for us. Oh my goodness, I wish I could remember her name. Oh, I feel like she deserves credit. If you are watching live or watching a replay and that was you, please let me know. I can't remember your name. Charge it to my mind and not my heart. But I thank you for coining that phrase for us. We need a peace fund. And when I say peace fund, and why I like the term that the financial bestie coined for us, is because a peace fund is more than just an emergency fund. I say it's more than just an emergency fund because an emergency fund is typically only used for emergencies. The way I view a peace fund is different. A peace fund is like financial guardrails. It's like guardrails of life that protect your peace, that protect you against inevitable challenges, such as the ones that are to come because of the felon and his minions, right? Right? A peace fund helps you navigate chaos with ease and confidence, like only a Black woman can, right? A peace fund helps you to block out the noise that's going around you and live your life and have joy despite what's happening around you. So it's way more than an emergency fund because it ain't about emergencies. It's about protecting your peace. Now, in this video, I want to discuss 5 reasons why Black women need a peace fund. And number 5 is what I consider the most important, especially with what's happening in our country right now. And I'll tell you what they are. I'll tell you right now what all 5 of them are, just in case you're watching and you don't want to hang around. So you can listen to all 5 and just leave, right? But then my financial besties and I, the Black women and I, we're going to discuss them in more detail. But the 5 reasons a Black woman needs a peace fund is first to protect yourself against loss of income. All right. The second one is handling unexpected expenses. The third one is your financial independence. The fourth one is to reduce stress and anxiety. And the fifth one, the most important, and I cannot wait until we talk about this, is to create freedom and flexibility. For your freedom and flexibility. I don't know if I've said it on this channel before, but I know I say it all the time in real life. And I've said it often on my private social media accounts. But your financial freedom is resistance. Your financial freedom is liberation. But before we get into each of those reasons, let me introduce myself for those who may be watching and don't know who I am. If you're new to me, hey girl, hey. I'm Malika, and I'm a stock market investor and a money coach that's dedicated to helping Black women build wealth for financial freedom. I was a single mom and on welfare for almost 10 years, but I overcame poverty despite the systemic oppression that was designed and intended to keep me in that box. And I achieved financial freedom by investing in the stock market. And now I love to help other Black women do the same thing. I love to help other Black women do the same thing. So if personal finance, investing in the stock market, and financial freedom are of interest to you, go on and tap that button below and subscribe to the channel. And then tap that other button that say join the membership, the channel membership of Financial Besties for extra channel perks. And if you tap that bell, you'll be notified when I upload a new video or go live. So welcome, new friends. Welcome. Let me say hello to my OG besties before we get into the topic. Who is with me tonight? What's up, besties? What's up, Venus Kirby? I saw your email. I responded to you, sis. I got you. If I don't get you here in this video, I'm definitely going to get you in the event that we'll talk about. But I got you. Miss Angie Moe, what's up, lady? How you doing? How you been? I see your custom emojis. Well, I can't really see them on StreamYard, but I know they're over there on YouTube, on the YouTube platform. I see your custom emojis. I love it. Hey, Tanya Brooks, what's up, girl? You weren't first tonight. You slipping. You weren't first tonight. Which, by the way, hold on, y'all. Let me back up and say hey to Angie Moe again. Angie, I don't know if you saw the post I put in the group today, the support group today, y'all. This ain't got nothing to do with the topic we're talking about, but y'all know me. I'm always going to keep you posted on what's going on with me. I had a good day today. Why, you ask? I had a fitting for my new custom boobs. And I love them. I posted a picture of the group that me and Angie are in. And I was just so excited. They look so perfect. They feel so real. Look, so don't be surprised this summer y'all start seeing me on the channel with tank tops and really, really tight t-shirts. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be showing off my new girls. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I thank God for the ability to have humor and have joy and still laugh through this very, very challenging experience that I'm still going through. But having my custom made girls put on, it just tickled me because they look perfect. I was like, ooh, I've never sat up this high before. Anyway, let me focus. Let me focus. I just thought y'all wanted to know that. Y'all my besties. I thought y'all would want to know that. Hey, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. What's up, girl? I haven't seen you in a minute. I am doing well. How you doing? How you been? Hey, Deneen. Hey, girl. Hey. Hello, Miss Courtney. Hey, girl. Hey. Hello, Miss Chanel. Hey, girl. Hey. Hello, Miss Anita. Hey, girl. Hey. Miss Tanya says she's tired today. Been getting people's stuff out of my garage. I hope that means you're preparing to do what we talked about in your private coaching session. Is that what that means? We're clearing out that garage? Yes. I see y'all saying amen. Yeah, we ain't letting them steal our joy, y'all. We are not letting them steal our joy. Absolutely not. What's up, Miss Maya? What's up, Miss Maya? Let's see. Hello, Miss Kimmy. How you doing? How you been? Thank you for the flowers. That's so pretty. Yes, Chanel. We were talking about big noise about resting, and they already have some of us hot and bothered. We got to help each other keep our peace. Absolutely, Chanel. Absolutely. And that's what I'm here for. I am planning to use this time to show up for my community to help you all maintain your peace, because it is so easy to get pulled in because it's their design. What they're doing is by design. They want to wear you down. They want to wear you out. And they want you to be so emotionally numb so that you don't even have the ability, the cognitive ability to respond, to defend yourself, or to strategically plan to protect yourself. So you're just completely numb and just subject to whatever they choose to do. That's what they want. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to be strategic. We're going to be defensive and offensive. And I will do whatever I can to help you maintain your peace and keep your joy. And also be defensive against what they're doing, which is something we're going to get into tonight. Because we're not ignoring them, but we just don't need to react to everything. What's the old saying? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We ain't the focus right now, but y'all know it's coming, right? Y'all know it's coming, right? Don't think for 1 second. Don't think for 1 second that we are not going to be directly in their line of fire eventually. Janelle said she's colored FU money. Yeah, we call it the peace fund. I wish I remember who gave me that term. I want to give her credit. I really do. Yes, Kimmy, the peace fund has a more positive connotation. I rather put peace fund out in the universe rather than say emergency fund. Yeah, emergency is almost like you're planning for something bad to happen. No, I like peace fund because I like to protect my peace. I like to be prepared to protect my peace in the event that something happens that I didn't expect, and also to keep me flexible to maintain my freedom. That's not an emergency. That's not an emergency, maintaining my freedom, but that's a priority to me. And a peace fund can help you do that. Yes. Ooh, Chanel, you getting into one of the reasons that I'm gonna talk about tonight. Yes. The moment I realized I could walk away from any situation or relationship I had, including my job, and be okay with it. Yes. My entire outlook on life changed. She said it. She said it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hello, hello, multifaceted me. How you doing? How you been? She said she saw the picture. Lifted me right on up, didn't it, girl? I said, ooh, I haven't sit this high since I was 25 years old. Beautiful, beautiful. Y'all gonna see him. Look, y'all gonna see him. Because look, I'm gonna take advantage of every opportunity to show them off. Please believe when it get hot enough. When it get hot enough. Let me get to the topic. Y'all so crazy. Lift them to the sky. The higher the girls, the closer the guy. I like that. I like that. I'm so grateful that I can laugh through this challenging time because I'm still in treatment, y'all. I'm still in treatment. I'll start phase 3 sometime this month. Saw my doctor, was it last Monday? And then I had a simulation planning type appointment today. So there's a lot of prep work for the next phase, but that'll be coming sometime soon. So still in treatment, but just like the felon in the Minions, treatment ain't stealing my joy either. It ain't stealing my joy as long as God gives me energy and it's been warm outside. Ooh, I've been on a wealth walk, y'all. I've been walking. Let me focus. Hey, Miss Greta King, how you doing? How you been? Let me get on the topic. But yeah, I've been feeling pretty good this week. Specifically, been feeling pretty good. The further I get away from my last chemo session, the better and better I feel. So yeah, life has been pretty good. And I will not let anybody, anything steal my joy. And I hope you don't either. So let's talk about today's topic. I don't know if y'all remember, about 2 weeks ago, I think I posted on the community page, which I noticed YouTube changed it from community to just post, which is weird. But anyway, I posted on the post tab and I did a poll and I asked you all which personal finance topic you needed help with the most to prepare for the challenges ahead. And almost half of you, 46% of you, voted for saving for a peace fund. I have a plan to help you with that. I'll share a little more about that later. But in this video, I want to talk about why every Black woman needs a peace fund. I'm going to assume the other half of you, the 54% of you, already have a peace fund. I'm going to assume that's why you didn't choose the peace fund. But I want to talk about why every Black woman needs a peace fund, especially now. I already shared the 5 things. Now let's talk about them in more detail. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm glancing at my notes. But reason number 1, I believe all Black women need to have a peace fund is protection against any impact to your primary source of income. protection against any impact to your primary source of income. Have you ever lost your primary source of income not by choice? Not by choice, such as a job loss, a layoff. Have you ever been fired? I have. Out of all my jobs, I've been fired one time. I was telling my brother about it the other day, and it's kind of funny because I feel like I was what's that dude name on Friday? He was like, "How you get fired on your day off?" I got fired, and it wasn't even my shift to work. They called me and asked me if I could work for the person. I said, sure, if I could find a babysitter. When I called them back and told them I couldn't find a babysitter, I couldn't come, I got fired because I didn't call in an hour, more than an hour before my shift. It wasn't even my shift. That's the only job I ever got fired from. And it wasn't even my shift to work. I got fired on my day off, y'all. I don't know if I ever shared that, but have you ever lost your primary source of income? Whether a job loss, if you're an entrepreneur, business slowing down, if you're an entrepreneur that works in a certain industry and that industry crashes, like in 2008, the housing market crashed. A lot of people that were real estate investors, that were mortgage lenders, a lot of people in the housing industry, their business slowed down because the market crashed. If you are an investor or you're learning how to trade, but you haven't really mastered how to make money from the stock market when the market is down. So stock market downturns may freak you out a little bit if the only thing you know how to do is invest and you rely on the stock market going up, right? With current events, they've hijacked the Treasury payment system, right? So if you rely on Social Security, if you were fed and you rely on pension payments, all the payments that the federal government control, you're potentially at risk of losing your primary source of income, right? And as Black women, we are more likely to experience a financial impact during economic downturns. We're also more likely to experience a loss of our primary source of income due to workplace biases. Look at how many people are losing their jobs now because of DEI rollbacks, right? Even though we weren't like the primary beneficiary of DEI. Again, that's a whole nother conversation. But a lot of people tend to associate DEI with Blackness and seem like only Black people. No, that isn't true. And they tend to associate DEI with a lack of qualifications. And Black women especially, we know that Black women are the most educated demographic in this country and the most qualified for the jobs that we hold. But we are typically the first to have that loss of income due to workplace biases and economic downturns. So if you are ever laid off or you lose your primary source of income, a peace fund will help you to maintain your financial stability. Having a peace fund will help you to maintain your financial stability even when you lose that primary source of income. You all may have heard me mention that I keep 2 years worth of expenses in my peace fund. And that's because I'm an entrepreneur. I don't want to have to rely on my business to sustain my lifestyle. And I'm also an investor. I don't want to have to rely on the stock market to sustain my lifestyle in the event the stock market is down for an extended period of time. Even though I know how to trade and make money when the market is down, I'm also dealing with a medical issue right now. I don't always have the mental capacity to focus and trade and follow my trading plan. It takes a lot of focus and discipline in order to be a consistently profitable trader. So I do it when I have the mental ability to focus, but I don't always. So when I can't do those things, I can confidently lean on my peace fund to maintain my financial stability. Right? Let me see what you all are saying about number one. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. A lot of you have been fired before. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I asked that question. I didn't expect those responses, but yeah, it's real. You laughing at me? I got fired. I got fired on my day off. Yeah, I sure did, girl. I sure did. I sure did. Ah, you said you're living off of your government pension. Hmm. Um, with the immigrant, the number one immigrant that's always talking about other immigrants having access to the treasury system, that that's concerning. That's concerning. And he's so focused on cutting the fat out of government. I would not be surprised if they revamp the pension system. I would not be surprised if that's going to be on their list within the next 4 years. Now, it's not completely unheard of because the pension system has been revamped before. And they reduce the amount of, like, the percentage of your salary that will be paid out to you in retirement. And they shifted more of the burden to you investing in your TSP, which is the private industry equivalent of a 401k. So it's been done before, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to revamp it again to reduce the government contributions even more. But yeah, Maya says she's been fired too. Multifaceted me says she fired herself in August. I like that. I like that. Yeah, girl, I fired myself in May 2022. I'm with you. I fired myself. So I was like, go ahead with your humble bragging self. Look, it ain't bragging if it's true. It ain't bragging if it's true. I love to see Black women bragging. I love to see Black women flexing. Flex in my comments all you want to. Let me see how good you're living, sis. I love it. I love it. Yes. But let's get into number two. The second reason, handling unexpected expenses without stress. That's the key. Handling unexpected expenses without stress. Have you ever had a large unexpected expense and didn't know how you were going to pay for it? The thing about it is, life happens. These things are going to happen, but so many people don't plan for them, right? I never in a million years would have expected to be diagnosed with breast cancer in August of 2024, right? Life happens. Medical emergency happens. Car repairs happen. Home maintenance costs can pop up at any time. I have a friend that's always sharing with me how much she is spending on home maintenance costs. And it seemed like every single year she's spending like $5,000-$10,000 on something new. I'm like, good God Almighty. And people be talking about home ownership is better than renting. Girl, the devil is a lie. I can't even get the word out. Hold up. Give me a minute. The devil is a lie. Unless that home is generating income, your primary residence will become a money pit. But life happens. And with the current trade wars going on against our number one trading partners, against our allies, where we receive the most imports from, where we receive the things that we buy and need the most, having a trade war with them, it's going to cause inflation. We're going to see price hikes on almost everything that we buy on a normal basis. In fact, I have watched a dozen eggs go from $2.99 to $5.99 in 1 week. It went from $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. I watched it every day in 1 week. So unexpected expenses are going to happen. It's not a matter of if they're going to happen, it's when they're going to happen. And if the cost of living in general goes up, when people talk about inflation, the price of goods and services go up. Those prices are never coming back down. When they say the inflation rate is coming down, what they're talking about is comparing the price today, the percentage difference compared to the price a year ago around the same time. So if the cost of, let's use gas. If the cost of gas was $3.99 a gallon in January 2024, and they say inflation is high, inflation is 7%, that's because it is up 7% from January 2023. So now they're saying inflation is about 3% now. It's not that the price of gas has gone down. The percentage has come down because now they're comparing it January 2025 to January 2024. Does that make sense? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down when it comes to how to understand inflation and how the media and the Federal Reserve talks about inflation and the percentages? The prices don't come back down. The inflation percentage comes down because the difference in the price compared to the prior year, the difference is smaller. But it doesn't mean that the price itself has come back down. So with inflation, those prices ain't coming back. You're just going to have more money to afford the higher cost. Right? In these trade wars, there ain't nothing but a tax. Ain't nothing but a tax that will trickle down from the corporation down to you and I, right? But a peace fund, and again, I say peace fund, and this is a perfect example why I think a peace fund is different from an emergency fund, because a peace fund will help you to assume those costs without stress, without a change in your lifestyle. It will help you to maintain your peace and continue buying the things you need, continue taking care of the unexpected expenses, the medical expenses that I currently have. Y'all, I just paid off a good chunk, a balance that I had been letting sit for a couple of months. It hurt me to my heart seeing that number come out of my peace fund. But a peace fund will help you to avoid going into debt while you handle those unexpected expenses. And that also reduces your stress levels because your peace fund took care of it for you. I ain't like it. I ain't like paying that bill, but I have no stress. I have no stress about paying my medical bills. I have no stress about eggs costing $5.99. I was really mad watching that price go up. And I was mad because I was planning to place my order. Y'all don't judge me. Don't judge me. I don't like going to the grocery store. Anything I could pay somebody else to do, I'm going to do it. I pay for conveniences. As long as it isn't produce, I'll order my groceries online. But I was mad mainly because I saw it when it was $2.99 and I saw what was going on in the news. And some said, Malika, don't order them eggs. You know you need eggs. But all I needed was eggs at the time. I really didn't need anything else. I was like, I'm going to wait. And then I saw it go to $2.99. I was like, I'm going to wait. And then I saw it go to $4.99, $5.99. I said, ain't that about nothing? Ain't that about nothing? And after the felon will make you think he's somebody's savior, like he done saved the day, and he call himself negotiating. This is the most businessman I ever seen in my life. How you gonna negotiate something that the president before you already negotiated? How you gonna start a fire and then put out the fire based on somebody else's equipment, but then announce it like you did it so you can get credit for it? Child, please. Child, please. Those negotiations with Canada already agreed to do those things back in December under Biden. But he'll have his base thinking, oh, he saved the day. There won't be a trade war. The prices aren't going to go up. He negotiated. He ain't do nothing but blow smoke and mirrors, which is part of his plan to make him look like a savior and to win more people over. You got to see right through the BS. But anyway, let's focus. A peace fund will help you to avoid going into debt while you handle those unexpected expenses without stress. So Black women, you need a peace fund. Let's see what y'all saying about number 2. You have some large unexpected expenses. Amen, Miss Deborah. What's up, channel bestie? Amen. She said, amen for no stress. Kimmy said, even in new home bills, there are problems. My kitchen sink literally separated from the countertop within 15 months. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. So I didn't distinguish, or at least I don't think I did. I didn't distinguish between older homes and new home bills. My main thing is if it's your primary resident and it's not generating income, it's a money pit, period. Because I understand new home bills. My first house was a new home bill. Girl, I thought I was doing something. Child, that was the worst financial decision I ever made. I think I got a video on my channel explaining the worst financial decision I ever made. A hot mess. That was a new home bill. Hated it. I told my brother's a mortgage broker. I told him if I ever bought another house again that was my primary residence, I needed to be at least 5 years old because I need the first homeowner to deal with the builder and all of his inefficiencies. That was a mess. I don't want to go through that again. Give me a used home. I'll buy a new car, but I don't want a brand new home anymore. No, thank you. Right? He's a sociopath. Absolutely. Terrence said he's a DEI hire. The felon a DEI hire. Yeah, I think he. No, I don't want to make fun of like mental health. But yeah, he is a DEI hire. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But the third reason why Black women need a peace fund is financial independence and empowerment. And Chanel, where are you? You alluded to this. Have you ever felt stuck in a situation that made you absolutely miserable? Have you ever been in a toxic job that you hated? Have you ever been in a bad relationship and you knew it was the end? Or have you ever been in an unsafe situation where you needed to get out, but you couldn't? Many women, but I'm speaking specifically to Black women, many Black women stay in those situations due to concerns about money, that toxic job. I can't leave because I need this income. That bad relationship. I can't leave because I can't afford the rent by myself, or I don't have any money to move out. Or the unsafe situation. I don't have anywhere to go. A peace fund will give you the power, literally give you the power to make decisions that are aligned with your best interests and your well-being. Besties, I don't ever want you in a situation where you feel like you have no choice. Having a peace fund will give you that financial independence so you can say, this no longer serves me, and I'm out. I did that in 2024. I left my good paying job, but I wasn't fulfilled. I was miserable. I started with the leave of absence first. I got 5 months into my six-month leave of absence. And then that leave of absence turned into a resignation. And it's so interesting. Every time I think back on it, it's like I was enjoying the downtime, enjoying the feeling of healing, of restoring myself. And that one phone call, it took one phone call. My boss called me just to check on me. And hearing her voice. And the thing about, I didn't hate her. I didn't have a bad relationship with her. It's the whole environment, everything associated with that job just killed my spirit. So just hearing her voice on the phone took me all the way back as if I just left the office. And by then, I had been out of work for 5 months. She was just calling to see how I was doing and when I was planning to come back, because it was only supposed to be a 6-month leave of absence. And that one phone call, I sat with myself for a minute and I was like, Malika, go and resign because you ain't going back. Having that fund, that peace fund, gave me the power. It empowered me to make that decision that I knew I needed to make, because going back was not in my best interest. And it's one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. Even with all that's going on with me right now, I really wish I still had that good insurance that I had when I was working full time, right? I wish I had that good insurance. But I also realized that I wouldn't have the mental capacity to do the jobs that I was doing. So I most likely would have requested a reasonable accommodations, or I would have been reassigned. No telling how much more miserable I would have been. And then just the idea of asking for time off or just requesting permission to do something. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm mentally and physically okay, but going through cancer treatment is just exhausting. Sometimes I just don't want to get up, and I don't want to have to ask anybody for permission to lay in bed until 10 o'clock. I do it because I can and because I want to. Having a peace fund gives you that financial independence. to make a decision that everyone else may disagree with. I had so many people telling me, girl, what you leaving that good job for? Because I want to. It's been 2 years, almost 3 years. I haven't worked since May 2022. And it's still the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. The Peace Fund empowers you to choose what's in your best interest. Black women, sisters, you need a peace fund. You need a peace fund. You need a peace fund. Kimmy, feeling stuck in America. We're going to get to that one in a minute. We're going to get to that one. I got you. I got you, sis. I got you. Uh-oh. The scroll went back up. Scroll. Got this wireless mouse and I'm scrolling and it's going up and I'm trying to make it go down. I think I might need to change the battery soon. Trying to get to your comments. Yeah, girl. We know when it's time to go. But some people have to stay even when they know their time has come to an end. By having a peace fund gives you that power to make that decision. Hey, Faithful Jones. How you doing? How you been? Well, girl, talk about it. That decision probably saved my life. I believe it did save my life because had I still been working, I would have never gone to Malaysia. That was one of the reasons why I had never been to Bali until 2023. Bali had been on my bucket list for probably 10 years, but because it was so far, I just never went. And to me, going that far, I need to take at least a month off. I'm not flying 24 hours just to stay for a week. So if I were still working, I would have never been in Malaysia. If I were still working, I probably would have been delayed on getting my mammogram. And if I were still working, even if I got a mammogram, it wouldn't have been as extensive. The wellness exam wouldn't have been as extensive as it was in Malaysia. But let's say they did a 3D mammogram and saw something suspicious. I would have put it off because I would have been too busy. I'll get to it later. Right? If I were still working, the way things happened in the order and the speed that it happened, it would have never happened if I was still working. You're absolutely right. The decision probably saved my life. In fact, I have been reading books that have been recommended by medical professionals that talk about the connection, and perhaps this can be another video for another time, that talks about the connection between stress and health issues. And there are studies that have found connections between stress and breast cancer. The studies are mixed because there are some studies that have found the connection, and then there are some studies that are done to dispute the studies that found the connection. But I have been reading books about the connection between our emotions and our health, because after I finish radiation, I will be starting a new healing journey, which was something I was intending to do when I was in Malaysia, which is what led me to the wellness exam. But I'm going to restart my healing journey that's going to be fully holistic, not diet, but I will start with my nutrition. I'm hiring a registered dietitian. I want to get back into meditation. Definitely want to continue managing the stress. I'm under a normal amount of stress now, considering my circumstances. But I have a lot of support, a lot of help. I seek therapy. I'm in a lot of support groups, so I have a lot of support that helps me to manage the stress of, going through cancer treatment. But there is a connection between stress and disease. And when I restart this healing journey, that's one of my priorities, to make sure that I'm making decisions that are in my best interests to eliminate stress in my life. To eliminate stress in my life. Let's see. The decision, not needing permission. Not needing permission to heal. Yes. And we need rest to heal. Y'all, we need rest to heal. Faithful Jones, I see your comment. I'm going to put a star next to it and come back to it after I get through these 5 things about a peace fund, and I'll circle back. And if I don't circle back, I'm going to do another video, separate video, like a ask me anything type video. But I'll circle back to your question. I'll put a star next to it. Anita said she is 1 year retired this week. Congratulations. You resonate with everything. Yes. Yeah, Miss Deborah. The flight is long. The flight to Southeast Asia is long. And depending on your layover and how long your layover, it can be even longer than 24 hours. The total flying time, travel time could be longer than 24 hours. But my flight coming back from Malaysia after my surgery was 21 hours. And my layover in Doha was less than 2 hours. So my layover wasn't long at all. But the total flying time was like 21, 22 hours. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tracy A., how you doing? How you been? I need to, almost everyone's telling me I need to keep working for health care coverage. I said I need to quit working for my health. I know that's right. Pouring into myself has been so good. I am so proud of you. Good. You saving your own life. Look, there are healthcare options and health insurance options out there. Good. Quit that job to save your life. Yeah. Deborah, I've cut out a lot of animal products. I don't think I will ever go vegan. Maybe vegetarian, or what's the other one? Pescatarian, I think. I don't think I ever go vegan because I like yogurt and cheese and stuff like that. But like cutting out just animal meat, yeah, that's something I'm slowly easing out of. I used to love me a good ribeye. Ooh, I haven't had beef in a long time. I don't eat pork. I mainly eat chicken, but I want to scale back from that too. I want to scale back from chicken too. But you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right. Number four, besties. Why Black women need a peace fund is to reduce stress and anxiety. Have you ever felt stressed about money? Have you ever felt stressed about money? Money is the number one cause of stress, or lack thereof, I should say. Money is the number one cause of stress. I don't know if it's number one, but I know it's the highest. It's one of the highest causes of divorce. There are people that even commit suicide over money. It's a major, major stressor. And with current events, the uncertainty due to current events and what's coming next and who's going to be impacted next. Because it's like he just got a list. That Project 2025, he just got a list that he's going down and he just throwing darts. He's just throwing darts, getting through all of them and throwing them so fast where it's just like, it's just so much to take in. But the financial uncertainty can take a toll on your mental health and your emotional health. As I mentioned, people unalive themselves over money. A peace fund will do exactly that. It will give you peace. It will give you peace, but it will most certainly give you peace of mind and bring a sense of calm. And the reason why is because you will have confidence in knowing that you're financially prepared for whatever life brings your way. Like I mentioned, I have a normal amount of stress considering the circumstances of what I'm dealing with right now, right? Most of the overwhelm that I feel when I'm down or when I'm talking to my therapist, it's about things I can't control, right? Concern about recurrence is the main topic that my therapist and I talk about lately. And that's what led to wanting to go on this health journey, this holistic health journey again. I'm going to do what I can, what's within my control to prevent a recurrence. But what I do not stress about is money. What I do not stress about is money. That's one less thing for me to have to worry about. In the support group that I mentioned earlier, I just saw a girl comment in the support group how her insurance company dropped her and she had just gotten diagnosed with cancer. I don't know if it was her or if it was somebody she was talking about, but I just remember as I was scrolling after I did my post, I saw that post. It's so many people in the support groups that can't pay for their treatment because when the job found out that they had cancer, they got fired for some other reason, but their speculation is probably due to the fact that they knew they would be out of the office for a while and they were still on the probation period, something like that. But with all the things that you have to deal with in life, whether you have a medical emergency or not, when money is one less thing that you have to worry about, it significantly reduces your stress and anxiety. Significantly reduces your stress and anxiety. Where I am right now, you may have noticed a difference in my background. I'm no longer in my home or with my family member because the treatment that I'll have next, I have to have it every day. And where I live and where I chose to receive medical care is about an hour and a half away. Depending on traffic, because it's a major metropolitan area, could be 2 hours. There was no way I was going to drive 2 hours or ask someone else to drive me 2 hours every single day to have my treatment. I made the decision to just move closer to my medical center. I'm spending thousands of dollars unnecessarily for the convenience of being 10 minutes away from the cancer center where I would have to go to every single day for about a month to get treatment. It reduces my stress and anxiety. I don't have to worry about asking someone to take me. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get there because I don't have a car. When I was planning to move abroad, I sold my car. I'm actually thinking about going to CarMax and looking at some used cars and buying a new car. Again, money is one less thing you have to worry about. So it reduces stress and anxiety. You make decisions that are best for you, that makes it convenient for you, that eliminates the stress, that makes your circumstances, even if they're stressful circumstances, that makes those circumstances less stressful. It creates convenience. It brings a sense of calm so you can focus on what's really important, whether that's getting to safety, whether that's focusing on your healing, whatever that uncertainty is, having money as one less thing to worry about, it reduces your stress and anxiety. Right? And a peace fund can give you that peace of mind and that sense of calm to reduce your stress and anxiety. Right? Yes, I can imagine how devastating that could be to get a cancer diagnosis and then get fired or find out that your insurance company dropped you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beyond cruel. Absolutely. Beyond cruel. Mm-hmm. I agree, Anita. There are some problems money can't solve. You know, the popular phrase, money doesn't buy happiness. It doesn't. I can agree with that. But money solves a lot of problems. Money can't make you happy, but it can reduce stress. Sometimes you just need to go ahead and let money solve it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to drive 2 hours every day in traffic in a major metropolitan area to get to a doctor's appointment every single day. And I will not bring myself to ask anyone to drive me either. I said, you know what? I'll just go live there for however long I need treatment and make it work. Money gives you options and reduce stress. I have less stress worrying about how I'm going to get to my treatment now. A lot less stress. All right, Betsy, the last one. Creating freedom and flexibility. Creating freedom and flexibility. Have you ever wanted to do something and all you could do was daydream about it? And you said, I would do it if I had the money. I would do this if I had the money. And this is another fork in the road. That's the difference between an emergency fund and a peace fund. Because a peace fund is money that you can spend on things that bring you joy. It doesn't have to be just an emergency. Example number 4, I showed you how you can spend a peace fund, use a peace fund for convenience to reduce your stress. It doesn't have to be an emergency. With a peace fund, you can create freedom and flexibility in your life. So let me know, have you ever wanted to do something and you say, yeah, I would. I wish I could if I had the money. Whether you want to quit your job and start your own business. Some people know that their job is toxic or something that they really, really don't want to do. And they have this wonderful business idea. And there's people in the market that need you to do exactly what your idea is. But you're afraid to take that leap because you don't have the money. Right? Or you're afraid to just quit your job without another job lined up because you don't have the money. Right? You might want to travel more or move abroad. With current events going on, if moving abroad is on your bingo card for 2025, sis, I don't blame you. If I was not currently in treatment, I know y'all know where I will be right now. Right? But a peace fund allows you to live life on your own terms without the financial limitations holding you back. Given the current events with a peace fund, you can buy a plane ticket, last minute plane ticket, and get out of Dodge right now just because you decided you wanted to. And it reminds me of a client that I have. I believe I shared this in a video once before, but she was just really, really stressed during his first term about, the impact he would have on her family and her life. And I was coaching her through it, and I was trying to help her to see that she has more control than what she was giving herself credit for. And I started asking her questions about what her fears and concerns really were. And she was like, what if something happens and I can't leave? I asked her the question back in a different way to help her reframe how she was thinking. What if something happens and you had the freedom and flexibility to leave? What would that take? And she paused. Because she hadn't thought of it in terms of her having control, of her having power, of her having freedom, of her having flexibility, despite what the now felon may do. You also have that control. What would it take so that you could do whatever it is that you would want to do if he did XYZ or whatever it is that you're afraid of? What would it take? For her, she wanted to leave the country. So I said, okay, what would it take for you to leave the country? And then we broke it down. Everyone in your family needs a passport. She's married with 2 kids. At the time, her children did not have passports. I said, how much does it cost to get you passports? Take that as an action item from this coaching session. Right? Then the next thing was, how much will it cost to buy a plane ticket to the country where you will want to go? So she had to do some research, and she had to do some self-reflecting to decide where she wanted to go. So we went through a series of exercises to simply quantify the cost of the things that she would want to do in the event that the idea that brought her this debilitating fear, if that happened, what would it cost for you to do what you want to do? What would it cost for you to have that freedom and flexibility? We came up with a number after she identified everything that it would take, and that became her focus and her target. And once she had that amount saved and invested, she no longer had that fear. Now she knows she has the power, she has the control and the freedom and flexibility to do what's in her best interest should the event happen that she's afraid of. You have that power too. You have that power too. Another thing you can use your peace fund for is, let's say you have a passport, you have enough money to buy a plane ticket, but if you had a fully funded peace fund, you can also use that peace fund to prove economic solvency, when you're applying for legal residency in another country. That peace fund serves many purposes. When I applied for residency in Mexico, I have permanent residency in Mexico. I had to prove economic solvency to get permanent residency. There was a certain amount of money I had to prove that I had in a bank account. I just had to show them my statements, attach it to my application. I had to go in for an interview. And within, minus the waiting, because all government agencies are slow, minus the waiting, I was approved for my permanent residency within minutes. Got a stamp in my passport, went to Mexico. I converted my visa to permanent residency, and I have a permanent residency card. I can go back to Mexico whenever I want, stay as long as I want. So with the current events that are going on, I want you to go through that same exercise. What would it take for me to have the freedom and flexibility in the event that this happens that I'm afraid of? And based on the country I want to go to, how much would it cost for me to establish legal residency? Different countries have different visas that you can apply for. I tend to go for whatever the highest version is that I'm eligible for. When my treatment is over and I get over the hump of having so many frequent follow-up visits, I do plan to eventually go back to Southeast Asia. I have my eye on the retirement visa in Thailand. I meet the age requirement now. They only require you to have $25,000 in a bank account for residency. The retirement visa lasts for 5 years and it's renewable. So it can last for 10 years. It can last for 10 years. So sis, your peace fund can create freedom and flexibility for you so that when the felon and his minions are being foolish and doing things that are not in your best interest, you will have the freedom and flexibility to make a decision to say, I don't need to be here. I ain't got to deal with this no more. You don't even have to wait until that happened. What you see now could be enough for you to say, I'm out right now. But that's what a peace fund does for you. It helps you to maintain your peace and give you the freedom and flexibility to do what's in your best interest. Regardless of the chaos and the fires going on around you, you can be like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm out. Book that flight. Go on Airbnb. Book an Airbnb for about 30 days just so you can have a soft landing. So when you get there, you can find out how to hire someone to help you find a permanent place to live. So you can go to the embassy to apply for the visa, whatever the process is. Having a peace fund gives you the freedom and flexibility to do that. I never, ever want you to be in a situation where you're stuck and someone else controls your livelihood. That peace fund helps you to maintain that control, helps you to maintain your peace of mind, and it gives you freedom to do what you want to do. All right? Let me see what y'all talking about. I see some congratulations in the comments. What I miss? Let me see. Miss Deborah, yes. There's nothing like peace of mind. Nothing like peace of mind. Tanya, you know it. You know it. Look, as soon as this phase of life is behind me, I'm not rushing it because I believe in leaning in and resting in what God has for me in the moment, in the phase of my life that He has me in it. But when He says it's time, you can go now, please believe Malika will be out of here. Venus, you need to move abroad for your peace. Have you run your numbers, Venus, to see what it will take for you to move abroad? Run your numbers. Aileen said, of course, I'm building my business while working my 9 to 5. I definitely want to travel more. I want to get to the point my business funds my peace fund. Okay. All right, sis. Shalonda, those golden handcuffs are something else. Prioritize your life. I know that's right. I'm so unemployable right now. The freedom, once you get a taste of freedom and you know that money is not a stressor, you're unemployable. You're unemployable. Even if you like to work, create a business to do something that you enjoy doing. Work with people that you enjoy working with. But going back into corporate America 9 to 5 and dealing with politics and all that foolishness, I ain't got it in me no more. I'm unemployable now. I'm unemployable now. Chanel, I see your comment. I'm going to start and come back to it. Miss Deborah, that's what I was missing. That's where all the congratulations came from. I was approved from Mexico. Also, I have my TR, temporary residency. I have another year for permanent residency. Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations. Where are you in Mexico? Where are you in Mexico? I don't know if I would go to Mexico right now, though, to be honest, because the diplomatic relations, it's like he's ruining relations with so many countries. I'm not exactly sure where I would go right now. But there's just so much discourse, so much conflict between the US and Mexico. And I don't know if I would want to be in a country that he's threatening to attack. Like I even consider Panama. I really enjoy Panama too. But the whole discourse coming up as it relates to the canal, it's like uncertainties and unknowns just sometimes throw your plans out of whack. But having a peace fund can help you pivot. You're not limited to just Mexico. You're not limited to Panama. You can pivot and go somewhere else. But I've been thinking about that. I'm like, Mexico is close. I already have residency. It's the easiest place to go. But is that where I want to go? Considering all the countries that he's been bullying right now. I don't know. I don't know about that. Congrats, Deborah. I see all the congratulations to you. Gail said freedom is sweet. Absolutely. Freedom is sweet. Since you want to be unemployable. I think even if I tried to work a job right now, I would have a boss. I would need a boss that's like so cool that will give me complete autonomy and flexibility to do things the way I want it done. But when you get to that point, it's kind of like, are you employable or are you just an entrepreneur? Girl, you need to work for yourself. Get on out of here. Anita sent me too. I was just saying to something that I wouldn't last a week. Not because I don't want to. Peace out. It's serious. Exactly. If I work for somebody and they told me to do something I didn't want to do, I'd be like, I don't know about that. They're like, what? No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. So, Miss Deborah, you say you have other places in mind. You have options. Okay. What other places are you considering? Give me some ideas. I really want to be in Bali or Malaysia, but I just don't want to go that far right now because I know after my treatment is over, I'll have follow up doctor's appointments like every 3 months, 2, 3 months, and I'm not trying to fly 24 hours, 48 hours round trip just for a 1 hour appointment every 3 months. So I wouldn't want to go too far, at least for the first couple of years. So I need to think about where I want to go. Yeah, Miss Gail thinking about it too. Where she want to go right now. Yeah. Multifaceted means that she has a peace fund for need to get it. To Malika's 2 years. Yeah. Which reminds me, Bessies, if you do not have a peace fund or you're working on it, if you have one and you want it to be bigger, I am responding to the call of the poll and the response that you chose. You need help saving the peace fund. And I am hosting a workshop to help you build one faster. I'm hosting a workshop to help you build one faster. It's the Peace Fund workshop. I'm only doing it one time. This is not going to be an ongoing thing like my coaching program or the Your Road to 100K. This is a one-time only thing, but it'll be an interactive workshop. And I've decided to host it on February, because I need to do it during Black History Month. February 16th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. So for 2 hours. And it is designed to help you financially prepare for the challenging times ahead. Just a few things I want to share about the workshop, what I want the outcome or the takeaway to be, what I've created. You will learn, number one, how much you actually need in your peace fund, because that's different for everybody. Number two, I'm going to share my strategies on how I built my peace fund to help you build yours faster. And you can do it even on a tight budget. I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan. Okay? I'm also going to show you how to stay consistent to make savings a habit. To make saving money a habit, how to stay consistent. Because I know a lot of people, when they're saving money, when you first get a goal and you first get started, you got all this motivation, this excitement. And then about a month or two into it, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Or you get shiny object syndrome and you see them Beyonce concert tickets drop. I'm going to show you how to stay consistent and make saving a habit. And I'm also going to help you maintain your financial peace. Help you maintain your financial peace. I don't know if you saw the post that I put in the community, on the community tab or the post tab. I know I posted it on my private Facebook page, but I've been posting different things that you need to do. Every time something comes out in the news, because we're being defensive and offensive, I post things for you to do to counter what they're doing. I'm going to share more of that in the workshop. So on the community page, I shared how you can protect your credit report, right? On my private Facebook page, I shared the bank accounts that you need, right? In the sister circle, I shared the credit cards that you need to make sure that you have access to. So things like that, I'm going to share in the workshop to show you how to maintain your financial peace, even after you already have a peace fund, right? And I'm also going to give a bonus. I created a peace fund starter guide, and I'll be giving that away as a bonus. It'll have the worksheets for you to use, the list of resources, and all the tips that you'll have even after the workshop is over to help you stay on track. And by the end of the workshop, my objective is for you to have an actionable plan to grow your peace fund faster and to maintain your financial peace. That's the most important thing. Once you have a peace fund, to maintain your financial peace, even during the most uncertain times. Even during the most uncertain times, you want to be so confident where the chaos around you don't move you at all. And that's what a peace fund will do for you, because life is unpredictable. Life is unpredictable. And under this current administration, girl, the challenges are inevitable. We know he is tearing everything up and then building it back up to make him seem like a savior. He tearing up what ain't broken and building it up to say, look what I did. I'm making America great again. I don't even want to use that phrase. I ain't using that phrase. YouTube, if you heard me use that phrase, do not connect my video to anything related to it. I ain't saying that no more. But he tears things down and fixes it, or uses somebody else's blueprint to fix it to make himself seem like a savior. So the challenges ahead are inevitable. The question is, will you be financially prepared? Will you be financially prepared? And I created this workshop to help you get there. And it's a workshop, so that means you're going to have to do some work. I've done the work on the back end to create it for you. I'm going to I'm going to host the workshop, facilitate the workshop on February 16th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. It's for 2 hours, and this is a one-time workshop. I'm not doing it again. This is just one time only. All right. Did I share the link? Hold on. Did I share the link? I don't know if I did. I will definitely put the link in the video description. Let me share this in the comments. Peace Fund Workshop, February 16th at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all know how I do. When I drop something, the price is going to be really, really low. The price is really, really low when I first drop it. But as it gets closer to the event, the price is going to go up. Okay? So this is the link to the Peace Fund Workshop, February 16th. Let me make sure I have the date right. February 16th from 3 to 5 p.m. Again, the purpose of this workshop is to help you build your peace fund faster and also to teach you strategies on how to maintain your financial peace. But that is the link if you would like to register. If you don't, great. I pray that you have an adequate peace fund that can help you meet the needs of all 5 of the things that I shared this evening. All right. Let me know if you have any questions about any of those 5 things that I shared this evening or anything about the Peace Fund Workshop. I'll give you a minute. Let me know. Now I'm going to circle back and answer the questions that I starred. And if you have any questions, feel free to share them and I'll get to them shortly. Let's see. Hey, Chanel, can you address setting boundaries to ensure our peace fund can do its job? Naysayers may discourage us from saving and investing to build the fund or from using it when we have it. Setting boundaries to ensure our peace fund can do its job. Chanel, I don't quite understand what you mean by setting boundaries. Can you give me some more to chew on? Give me some more. Explain what you mean by setting boundaries to ensure your peace fund can do its job. I want to answer this, but I don't quite understand the question. Naysayers may discourage us from saving and investing to build the fund or from using it when we have it. In terms of using the peace fund, this is different from your emergency fund. That may be one of the limitations that you have about wanting to use your peace fund. So this is not an emergency fund just for when bad things happen in life. I want to make that clear distinction again. A peace fund, the purpose of the peace fund, it also can serve the purpose of what the emergency fund does, but the primary purpose of the peace fund is to maintain your peace of mind. And that includes your financial peace. And that is whatever you determine that to be. When I decided to move closer to my medical facility where I'll get treatment, I'm spending thousands of dollars a month that I don't have to spend. It's not an emergency, but it gives me peace of mind. You understand what I mean? So for the naysayers that discourage you from using it when you have it, I want you to reframe what you think about a peace fund. It's not an emergency fund. The purpose of it is to maintain your peace. So if there's a reason why you want to use it and that reason maintains your peace, girl, spend the money. Spend the money. Spend the money. But if that's not what you meant by that question, give me more context and I'll circle back to you. Okay? Faithful Jones, I promised I would come back to you too. What are your thoughts about retiring before one can get their full Social Security benefits? Retiring before one can get their full Social Security benefits. So what you mean by full, I'm assuming, is that age 67? Because you know how Social Security gives you those 3 age ranges where the longer you wait to take your Social Security, the more your check will be. And the age in the middle is considered full retirement, age 67. So that's what I'm going to use as the context of your question. What are your thoughts about retiring before 67 to get your full Social Security benefits? I am one of those people who, as soon as I'm eligible for Social Security, so that's age 62, I plan to take my money. And my thoughts about that is, number one, God ain't promised me that I'm going to live to 67. And as long as I've been putting money into this system, as soon as I'm eligible, I want my coins. I want my US dollars and dinero as soon as I'm eligible to get it. Because what you're not going to do is have me leave this earth at 66 and I never receive a dime. And because I don't have a spouse or I don't have young minor children that can get my Social Security, then guess what? The government gets to keep all your money. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that difference between 62 and 67, for me, is like, I want to say probably about $1,000. No, it's not $1,000. It's a couple of $100. It's a little under $1,000. I'm good. I'm good. Even if I don't need it at 62 because I have other streams of income. I still want it as soon as I'm eligible. And I mean as soon as the minute I turn the age that makes me eligible, I want a check coming that month. Because Uncle Sam, I'm not going to take advantage and keep my money if I don't live until 70. I think the next age they put on the chart is 70, where you get a little more than the full retirement. I'm not putting it off for a couple of $100. Run me my money now. Run it to me now. So what you gonna do with my money if I die before then? And furthermore, if you give me my money now, I know what to do with that money to make it worth more than if I waited. Run me my coins. So that's what I think of it. I think you deserve every dime that you're entitled to as soon as you're eligible. Because if they restructure the program, if they restructure the system and change that number, and then you bamboozle and you waited until 67, and then that number is lower, and you waited all those years for nothing. I don't trust our government enough for them to do what they claim they're going to do in the future. As soon as I'm eligible for something, I want it. I want it right now. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. Hope that answered your question. There's one other question I need to answer. There's one other question that I need to answer that was sent to me by a financial bestie that registered for the workshop. She said, let me find it. I'll pull it up on my computer. If you have any questions for me, put a QQ in front of them. I'm going to scan for the Qs after I answer this financial bestie question, and then we'll wrap up. We'll post your question and put a Q in front of it so I'll see it. Okay. She said, I live on my pension and SSDI currently. SSDI, is that disability insurance? Social Security disability insurance. I'm currently investing in my brokerage account, but I'm concerned about the minion. I ain't going to say their names because I don't want to attract no trolls. But the felon's minion that's doing all the dirty work for them. I'm concerned about the minion's project of seizing the Treasury Department information. There doesn't seem to be guardrails in place to prevent the theft. How can I protect the assets that I have accumulated from being stolen? Okay, these are the types of things that I'm going to address in the workshop. So the part where I said to help you maintain your financial peace, these are the types of questions that I want you to bring to the workshop. So after I show you all of my strategies and all of my tips on how to build your peace fund faster, we're going to talk about maintaining your financial peace. So I want you to bring all of your concerns, all of your questions about your financial questions as it relates to current events. I want you to bring all those to the workshop. And this right here is the kind of stuff I want to answer to help to alleviate, at least try to alleviate some of your concerns. But to answer this bestie, her concern is completely understandable. They have hijacked basically the federal government's bank account, pretty much. That's what the Treasury Department is. That department manages trillions of dollars, right? So she is rightfully concerned. She says she's investing. She has a pension, has Social Security, disability, and she's investing in the stock market. She wants to know how can she protect the assets that she has accumulated from being stolen because the minion has seized. It's been a heist. He's taken over. He has seized the Treasury Department's information. Here's the thing. I shared on the community tab how to protect you from becoming a victim of credit fraud or identity theft by putting a freeze on your credit report. So that's the first thing to prevent theft, somebody getting access to your information that was in that system. If you're on Social Security, SSDI, receive a government pension, you receive Medicaid, Medicare, if you received a tax refund, your information is in the Treasury Department. Your information is accessible by 19 and 20-year-olds that's working for the felon and the felon's sidekick minion. So there's no idea where your information is going to go. So first things first, I want you to protect yourself from credit fraud and identity theft in the event that your proprietary data gets exposed, which is highly likely that it will be, because those people that are accessing that information do not have a security clearance. They do not have legal authorization. They just went in and took over. Have no idea what these kids are doing. So what I did for myself was first make sure I already had a freeze, but I went in and double checked to make sure that the freeze is still on. And when you put a freeze on your credit report, what it does is it limits the credit bureaus from releasing your report to anyone that is using your Social Security number or using your, personal identifiable information to apply for new credit in your name. You can put the freeze on and take the freeze off whenever you want to, and it's free of charge to do so. In that post, I shared all three major credit bureaus, the telephone number to all three if you want to call them and place the freeze, but it's easier to do online. And I also included the link to all three if you want to do it online. That type of information is what I will be sharing in the workshop when we talk about maintaining your financial peace. But the other thing I want to share as it relates to this bestie's question is she's been investing in the stock market. And she wants to know how to protect her assets from being stolen. That's about understandable concern too. You don't want the felon and his minion stealing what you've worked so hard to build. You're investing in the stock market and you're accumulating assets over time. But here's the thing. I want you to understand that the Treasury Department is a separate entity from the New York Stock Exchange, where you buy your investments, and the Treasury Department is a separate entity from your brokerage account, where you store your investments. Okay? The Treasury Department is part of the executive branch of the government, and that is the branch that the felon controls, unfortunately. Right? That's the branch that the felon controls. The Securities and Exchange Commission is an independent agency of the government, but they regulate the U.S. stock market, right? And the Securities and Exchange Commission, we'll call them the SEC. They are run and they are managed by 5 commissioners. Now, although the SEC is part of the executive branch, unfortunately, those 5 commissioners, they're appointed by the president with the consent of the Senate, but we all know all his appointees ain't qualified. They DEI hires. But here's the good thing about the SEC. It has 5 commissioners that oversee the SEC. And when the president appoints the commissioners, no more than 3 can be from the same political party. So he may appoint 3 Republicans, but the other 2 have to be Democrat. Okay? And also, the assets that you hold, because your question is about protecting your assets. The assets that you hold are in your brokerage account, which is a private corporation. So the Vanguards, the Schwab, the Fidelity, those are private corporations. The president and his minions do not have any control or authority over a private corporation. Right? In fact, 2 brokerage accounts that I'm thinking about, I know JP Morgan Chase, JP Morgan, Two of them did not roll back DEI, even though the felon wanted them to. They said absolutely not. What's the other one? JP Morgan did not. Who's the other one? Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs. So I'm just sharing that as an example that these are private corporations that the president and his minion can't control and can't seize like they've done. And I still have this Social Security comment on the screen. How do I get this comment off the screen? The whole time I've been talking, Social Security comment still on the screen. But anyway, my point of sharing that is because those are private entities and the felon and his minion does not have any control or any access to what is held within those private entities. So I hope that answered your question. If it did not, bring it to the workshop. I see that you registered for the workshop, the person that asked this question. If that did not answer your question thoroughly, we can take a deeper dive in the workshop and we will get to the bottom of your concerns, and I will do my very, very best to help to alleviate your concerns. The bottom line, when it comes to investing, for me, I have no concerns about my assets that are in my brokerage account because this oligarchy that's taking control of our country, where do you think the vast majority of their wealth is? When you hear the media say, oh, Elon's wealth increased by $50 billion since the felon took office. He didn't go to work and make $50 billion. The value of the stock that he owns went up by that amount. So they are not going to ruin the US stock market. That's where the vast majority of their wealth is. That's exactly why he's doing what he's doing, because he wants to make his rich friends richer. And all of their money, or the vast majority of it, is in the stock market. So until I see something different, that is my stance today. I have no concerns about my money that's in the stock market. But I want to say that with one caveat. I am an active investor and an active trader. So that also means I don't care when the stock market is down, because I know what to do when the stock market is down and still make money. So the stock market being down does not scare me. When I say I'm not concerned about my investments, that means I know the stock market is not going to go to zero. I can say that with confidence. Because if the stock market go to zero, the billionaires that are trying to take over this country, their wealth will go to zero. They ain't going to let that happen. And if our stock market go to zero, all of my clients that have been through my coaching program, that have taken any of my courses, you already heard me say this before, the U.S. will become a third world country. And then our greatest enemy will become the number one financial power of the world. And they will never let that happen. That's my opinion today. I'm the type of person, my opinion can change when I receive new information. But that's my opinion today. So I have no concerns about my investments. Always manage risk and learn to hedge to protect your investments. Learn to hedge to protect your investments. All right. We have been on for a long time, besties. I've enjoyed this conversation with you. I'm going to scroll back to see what I miss. Tracy said she's registered. Congratulations, Tracy. I'll see you in the workshop. If you're interested in registering for the Peace Fund Workshop, again, February 16th, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern, 2-hour workshop to help you grow your peace fund and maintain your financial peace. I'm only doing this one time. You are welcome to join us. Miss Gail said, her motivation is watching her money grow. I know that's right. I know that's right. Let's see. Yeah, Chanel, as someone who saved up her peace fund the hard way, don't do it the way she did it. Let me speed you up. Let me speed you up. Yes. One thing, if you're not in the US, 2 years funds might look a little different. Yeah, 2 years can go a lot further outside the US. Absolutely. Okay, Miss Deborah, I see your follow up. You're considering Belize, Colombia, and Portugal. Okay. He's starting fights with Colombia too. Belize doesn't have enough infrastructure for me. I spent some time in Belize last year, kind of like on a semi scouting trip. I like Belize for vacation, but to live, not sure about that. Come on, Tanya. You saying you really need that? You talking about the workshop? Join us. Join us, Tanya. Next week? No, not next week. It's 2 weeks from now. About 10 days. About 10 days. So not this Sunday coming up, but the next Sunday after that. Yeah. We don't need a long time. Don't need a long time to do a 2-hour workshop. So either you want to join or you don't. No pressure. No pressure to join. No pressure at all. Now, if I was talking about my coaching program, that is something I would give a longer leadway for. But for a 2-hour workshop, I actually started to drop it and do it this Sunday. So I started to drop it and do it this Sunday. But yes, next Sunday. Next Sunday. Also, Chanel, I did answer your question. Okay. Good. Okay. Especially worrisome if we're not living in our own space or we're not, let's see, it can be especially worrisome we're not living in our own space or if we do not feel like we can afford to make other folks upset. That was me when I started saving. So just don't tell them that you're saving. Don't share. Don't let them know. Tell them you broke. I ain't got it. Don't say you're broke because that's speaking negative over your life. I take that back. Just say I ain't got it. You don't have it. The money is already spent. It's spent in your peace fund. You paid yourself. You paid yourself first. Scrolling for cues. I know that's right. Look, give me mine at 62. Absolutely. Give me mine at 62. The only thing I will not access early is my Roth IRA. You can access your Roth IRA at 59 and a half. I will not access my Roth IRA because I want that to continue growing as long as possible, tax-free. And the Roth IRA does not have RMDs, required minimum distributions at age 73, like your 401k and your traditional IRA. So I will draw down those funds first as soon as I'm 59 and a half so I can avoid RMDs. But the Roth IRA is not subject to RMDs and that money grows tax-free. So I will probably never, ever touch that. That'll probably end up going into the trust fund for my grandson. But yeah, as soon as I'm eligible, run me my money, Social Security. You can bank on your mobile too. I'm looking for cues. Y'all talking a lot. I love that the chat is active tonight, but I don't see any cues. So y'all don't have anything for me. I'm going to get on up out of here. So I probably should roll over my... Is that a question for me, Kimmy? It's not a cue, but... Yay! Multifaceted me. Congratulations. I will see you in the workshop. Yay! Courtney registered. I will see you in the workshop. Yay, Kimmy. I will see you in the workshop. I'm so happy. I look forward to helping y'all. I love to help y'all. It brings me joy. I'm unemployable, but this type of work brings me joy. Let's see. Chanel, I don't always get to catch a live. This was lovely and timely. Thank you, Chanel. I enjoyed your comments. You have kept the chat lively this evening. And I appreciate all of you so very much. I appreciate y'all so very much. But besties, just want to remind you, your financial peace is resistance. Your liberation is also resistance. Having no stress and anxiety, it makes them mad. Seeing a Black person peaceful, ain't mad about nothing, ain't scared. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared. I ain't stressed. That will make them mad. Make them mad. Don't let them steal your joy. Don't let this administration steal your joy. Resist all the tactics that he's going to throw your way over the next year. I hope they get him out of here before 4 years. So I ain't going to say 4 years. So resist all the tactics over the next year. Maintain your joy. If you're a believer, pray and maintain your peace. If you have registered for the workshop, I will see you on February 16th. And I look forward to supporting you. But until next time, I'll be here next Friday again, still talking junk. Bye for now. Have a great weekend, besties.